Hi. So in Mark 13, it started out with Jesus leaving the temple with his disciples, and they started talking about the temple. And Jesus told them that not one stone will be left on of the temple, and the destruction of the temple actually happened about 40 years after Jesus's death and resurrection. And obviously, it was judgment for Israel, for Jerusalem, for rejecting Jesus. And remember during the triumphal entry, when Jesus was on the sit at the city limits, if we call it that, he wept over Jerusalem. And this chapter, we see him prophesy his destruction when he said that no stone will remain. He was talking about what happened eventually 40 years after that. And that whole thing was sort of a reprise of what God had done in the Old Testament. If you remember, using Babylon and Persia as his instrument of judgment on the people, he did the same for Rome, because according to history, the people rebelled against Rome. They mounted a rebellion. Perhaps they got tired of waiting for the Messiah that they thought was going to overthrow Rome, and they rebelled. And as a result, Rome razed the temple, as well as obviously killed them and punished them for their rebellion. Killed some of them, not everyone. And in response to the disciples' questions regarding the signs, Jesus provides lots of details about it, like the signs of the end of the age, but he doesn't tell them specifically the time when all of these things would happen. Again, like I said yesterday, most of what Jesus was saying appeared to be specific instruction for that specific time to that specific group of people, even though some of the things that he said concerning the end of the age we are experiencing now. People have experienced before, generations before us have experienced before, we are experiencing now. If there's anything I've come to know in sort of the cycle of life or earth, or the things repeat. There are sort of patterns that always like repeat every few years or centuries or so yeah, that I just thought to throw that out there. Now, there are several schools of thought regarding whether some of the things that Jesus said here have come to pass or not. Specifically, regarding the it's called the abomination of desolation, right? So some people believe it's a person, some people believe it's a place, some people believe is a time one or an act that is done. Some believe there is something yet to be done. And yet, even then, some believe that that's actually, this has already happened, and they say that is the Islamization of the Temple Mount, which happened around the 690 AD or so. And they believe that that's what it is, a mosque being erected on the Temple Mount. But whatever happens, whatever it is, or whenever it is, whenever it was prophesied to whether it's happened or not. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Jesus encourages us not to be afraid, but to be on our guard, to be watchful and prayerful. Now, here's what I learned about God in this chapters, the chapters of this, the verses of this chapter. All right. God promised eternal protection for his children. And Jesus said that it was impossible for his elect to be torn away from the faith. And even all the things he said about the signs of the end of the times, in spite of all of these things, his elects are not moved. So Jesus reinforced over and over encouragement to his disciples, letting them know that the body of Christ is eternal and will outlast every trial and every tribulation. I found this very comforting. And the fact that we are part of an unstoppable kingdom is something that gives me much courage. And this is a great reason to be confident, come what may, knowing that we serve an eternal God. Thank you for joining me today. Tomorrow I'll be sharing lessons from Matthew 24, and I look forward to doing so here with you, God willing. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.